everybody, welcome back to my channel, Ginger Gerald Stitcher. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and New Year and Hanukkah and whatever else you celebrate, a holiday season. I certainly did. Since I videoed last, which was about a month ago, I celebrated Christmas at my family's house. I went home Christmas Day. It's about a 6-hour drive from here back to Western PA. Where I'm originally from. I was able to spend most of the week there between Christmas and New Year. Since I am a teacher, I get off that week. And then I came home and got ready for New Year's, which I really didn't do much. Actually, prior to Christmas, I got really sick with the dreaded flu that everyone seems to be getting that's going around. So I was at home sick for 2 days out of work with a 102 degree temperature, fever, and it was just, pretty miserable. But hopefully that's passed and all out of the system and gone for the year. So then for New Year's, I didn't really do much. I stayed home and I stitched, and I went out to dinner with my friend, and then we watched we finished watching The Crown on Netflix. Gotta watch that if you haven't. Absolutely love that that series. I can't wait for season 2 to come out. So, and then of course we got back to work, and I've been working and stitching and everything else in between. And I just thought of one thing I want to put down on my notes that I do not forget. I've been busy with church since I sing in the choir, and I'm a member of the board there, and we've been doing a lot of fundraising and prepping for the new year. I've lots of updates. I have been doing a lot of stitching. This last week hasn't been so much, but I have a good bit of progress, so I will show you that here in a second. I do want to shout out to a couple people. I usually don't do shout outs because there's so many people that actually do it already, but I really want to say welcome to Pip Stitch. I don't think I did in the last video, but if I did, we can repeat his name. So Pip Stitch, Philip in England, great stitcher. He was one of the first people that welcomed me to Instagram with my cross stitch, and absolutely love following his progress. Five Stitch, Lorna, she just started her first video last week, 2 weeks ago, I don't know, within the last couple weeks, and she's a musician, a fellow musician, which I support, and she has some beautiful stitching. I love the Celtic, is it Celtic Christmas? They're not really my thing, but I love the way it's framed behind her in her video. And I want to shout out to Andrea, I Heart Cross Stitch. She does some wonderful stitching. I love her projects. I like watching her videos and watching her her progress. So if you haven't seen any of those yet, go out and look for them. Wonderful stitchers. So let's start with my progress. So last night, while I was watching the Steelers game, yay Steelers, I got kind of bored with my Heaven and Earth, so I decided to pull out my beautiful sea style, which I have not been working on since November, just because it was getting on my nerves, the fact that like one motif wasn't completely done until the next row came out. So I wanted to wait until some more of the parts were released. So I did not get very much progress done, but I got most of the border for parts 4 and 8 filled in. I just have a few more waves here. So I will be working on that. I'm in no hurry to finish this. I have realized that I very much enjoy larger projects than these smaller ones. I do like these projects, and they're nice to work on in between the larger ones, just so I don't get sick of the large ones. But anytime I'm working on the smaller projects, I realize I'm really thinking about my large ones. So there is my beautiful seesaw. This is on a fabric I purchased off of Etsy, and I can't think of the name right now, and I think it's 38 count, or it's either 36 or 30. I think it's 38 count. But I don't remember the color. I like the fabric, but it's very, very flimsy and soft, and it's almost too much for me because I prefer even weave. So it gets on my nerves a bit, just because I'm not used to this soft of a fabric. Okay, then for my New Year, well, it wasn't really a new start, New Year, new start, but for this year I'm stitching along with Coffee Stitcher Garrett. We're doing the last year's Passport Sow by Frosted Pumpkin. So I got the middle section on where it says let's go on an adventure done before January 1st, so that on January 1st I could start London. So I have London done, as well as the words let's go on an adventure in those borders. And I did do a modification on the person. I'm not really a fan of the people. I'm going to stitch, I might omit some of them on the pattern, just because, like many of you, I'm making it so it represents myself, my friends, my family. So in this case, for London, I made it to look like my friend who absolutely loves everything British. So it was fitting to put him in London. But I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the rest of the people. I will be putting myself in there somewhere, because I do love traveling. So that's let's go on an adventure. And I'm hoping that when you see this, I'm recording on my Samsung tablet today. So I'm hoping when we watch it back, the words are regular. But if not, oh well. So that's let's go on an Frosted Pumpkin Passport. Then we have, let me just cross off so I don't forget anything, my Crowns of the Kingdom by Rosewood Manor. And that is what it should look like, or whenever it's finished, or that's the model stitch. Crowns of the Kingdom, Rosewood Manor. And if you recall, prior to the last episode, I had realized that I did a major mathematical error in my prepping of this fabric. And it is partially my fault, but I also think it's that one free X-Stitch app, and I don't remember what it's called, but it has the picture of the moon and something sitting on the moon and the starry night. I've noticed, and I've heard other people in their videos say that they had the same issues, where I don't think it was actually doing the math correctly. So I started using the 123 stitch. 123, the store, 123stitch.com. Their calculator to figure out the fabrics now. But so I wanted to make sure when I restarted that I went the whole way across the top, to ensure that I had enough space for my project. So I got the entire top row done, not pages, just the top crowns, as well as everything I had stitched prior to having to frog. So this is what I have done. This is on 36 count Neverland Sea linen, linen by hand dyed by Stephanie. This is using the called for petite treasure braid. Actually, you can see, and all of my colors, so I have a wonderful sunny day today, so this is all natural light. I'm very lucky today. It's going to be a beautiful week here, so that's one of the reasons why I decided to stitch on this Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day in America, January 16th. Since it is a national holiday, I get off from work. Yay! So, my Crowns of the Kingdom by Rosewood Manor with the called for petite treasure braid, threads, and on Neverland Sea 36 count linen by hand dyed by Stephanie. I love this. I love the way that the metallic threads contrast with the blue fabric. Oh, and I forgot to mention my passport is stitched on 32 count Dawn linen. Yes, linen by Picture This Plus. And my last whip that I currently have going on is my Heaven and Earth Designs Henry VIII. And here he is. So I have 2 full pages finished. Let's see. I have the first 2 pages finished. I stretched down here into the 8th page just to make sure that I get the tassel on his hat completely filled in. I didn't want to have to just have a few random stitches down here with all because this is such a confetti heavy area. And then I started on the 3rd page, and I decided when I finished all this 310 black on the 3rd page that I was going to finish the entire hat at the same time, so that stretched onto the 4th page. But now I'm thinking that I'm actually going to go and finish all of the background on 5, and there's one 10 by 10 column on page 6, so it's just a partial. So I'm going to finish all of the background on the first row and then come back and fill in the whites and the creams and the browns of the hat, because the lettering, like over here on this side, are those same similar colors. So that way I can just carry the threads across and not have to constantly be changing all of my threads. I did have a question on Instagram, and you can follow me on Instagram. It's ginger.gerald.stitcher, just like here on YouTube. And they asked, how did I start and how do I carry on with my... I am not a parker. I tried parking. I can't stand it. It's just not... I just can't... It's not that I don't... I can't handle the constant changing of the colors. And yes, when there's a lot of confetti and it's just a few stitches, I get that. But for me, I like to follow through and finish one section of one color at a time. So I don't, in a way, I kind of do a parking method where I will do one column of all of that color, or 1 or 2 columns. I might do a 20 by 20. And then go in and start filling in with all the other colors. And like right now, I have all of the black of the hat done, the 310, and I started filling in the background, and then I just fill in wherever needed, and I have up to that page. So I'm going to finish this page and then go on to the last page and column of the background. So I am, a lot of people say, because I started this on December 4th, that I'm a fast stitcher. I don't feel like I'm a fast stitcher because I only have a few projects. And right now, this is all within here, 4 or 5 colors. So it's not a lot of changing. Once I got to the confetti heavy areas, it took a lot longer. And looking farther into the pattern, it's a lot of confetti in his outfit. So it will probably slow me down quite a bit. But I am very pleased with my progress up to this point. Okay. So that is all of my progress up to this point. So let's go into some stash additions. So the first thing I got, and this is in no particular order, was a while back, I think it was maybe in October, I reached out to, I believe it's Karen in Dinky Dyes, and I had asked if she was going to have any of the leftover bags, the sample packs that she sells on Etsy. And she said she was going to, but she would be willing to make me a pack just so that I could try, since I've never had Dinky Dyes. So she finally got a hold of me, and she did have a sale of some, and I purchased another bag then. So she made this one up for myself, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to take it out of the package because I don't want to mess up the skeins yet. So these are the colors I requested. I love earthy tones. So I love those, and I already have some ideas of what I'm going to stitch those with. Use some of those colors for. And then while she was having the sale on Etsy for other packs, I went ahead and got the jewel tones. I love the blues and the reds in that pack. And of course, she sent me a few sample just for my purchase. So I'm very pleased with that. I also ordered and received another Almanac frame. I got the 90, the largest one they had, the 90 by 30. Because my next Heaven and Earth design is a much larger one that I have, and it won't fit on my 40 by, or my 60 by 20, and that's millimeters. So I wanted to make sure I got the largest one, and I love these frames. So there's the 90. Love the frames, love the customer service with Anton and his family. The shipping to the United States is a little, I wouldn't say excessive. I mean, it's expected because it is wood. But I'm so pleased that I started buying those. And then I had a very nice surprise by a very special person in the stitching community, and she knew how much I wanted these, so she went ahead and I'm gonna leave her nameless, but I'm sure many of you can figure it out. But she sent me the crown needle minders that I had mentioned in the last video. So of course I have already started using these, this one being my favorite because I love yellow. So I usually have one of these on Henry because you got to have the Crown of Edward the Confessor with your British stitching, and then I usually use this one on my Crowns of the Kingdom. So love those needle minders. And like many of you, I have jumped on the bandwagon, and I'm in no hurry to stitch this, but I went ahead and got to stitch Rovia Quotes to Live by Sal. And the reason I did this is because I do work with a lot of people with mental health issues. I am a special education teacher, but I also thought this would be a perfect gift to stitch for my boss for Christmas next year. So she will be getting this for Christmas, hopefully. So I'm not going to necessarily stick with stitching the pattern as it comes out, but I will plan to have it done by Christmas. I actually ordered some fabric on 123 Stitch last night because I don't have a large stash of fabrics. So I will be getting that here shortly, and then hopefully I can start that maybe February. I went ahead and started a floss club with color and cotton. I'm looking forward to that, so I should get my first pack in February because I don't have a lot of specialty flosses, and I love following her on Instagram, and it looks like the colors she produces are amazing, so I can't wait to start that. And the last thing I bought, which I have already had, I'm sure you've seen if you follow me on Instagram, and we're going to travel here a little bit, so I'm going to do my best to not shake the tablet too much. But I purchased a shelving unit for my stash supplies. So we're moving here into my bedroom because that's where I have room for. And I got this at Hobby Lobby yesterday. And so, let's see, can I move this? No, I guess we're going to have to keep it around like this. So, I bought this shelf cabinet for my cross-stitch supplies. And yes, all of my supplies fit in this cabinet. I had many remarks on Instagram saying, I can't believe you can fit everything in there. I would need 5 of those. I don't have a big stash. I don't plan to have a big stash because I am more of a large whip kind of person. I don't plan to buy a lot. I will buy as needed. So and I'm going to show you as best as I can how I have this set up. Let me open up the window here so we can get a little bit more natural light in. Maybe that will help. So, let's see. The only downfall to this shelving unit that I'm going to have to fix is that whenever I pull the drawers out, they tend to fall down onto each other because the sliders, the pieces that are on the actual cabinet aren't quite wide enough to hold the drawers. So I will be fixing that. That should be an easy fix. I can just glue or tack on an extra little piece of wood to the existing rods. So in the first 3 are where I'm keeping my supplies and my fabrics for my current whips. So I keep my crowns and threads for Henry at the top, my extra skeins of floss. On the second drawer, I have one of my floss containers, and this is where I'm keeping my passport. So all of my passport threads are in here, along with I keep the fabric here. Because lately I've been stitching crowns and passport on a hoop just to change up, so I don't have to sit at my stand all the time since I'm stitching Henry on the stand. As you can see, it fell. So it's a little bit annoying, but then in this drawer I have all of my floss for my Ship's Manor Beautiful Sea Sow. I have my extra DMC just that I purchased and don't have, don't need, they're doubles of, and then my other DMC bobbins. And then we start, then the fourth drawer down is all of my my fabrics that I have in stash. So I have my primitive hair and my chromatic alchemy, and then my Picture This Plus. And then I actually have an empty drawer. Oh, jeez. And I have my, down farther, I have my patterns I haven't completed yet in this drawer. I have some hoops and other just supplies in these drawers, and then I have my larger finishes and kits. I have a kit that doesn't fit in the smaller drawer, so I have it here. And there's two large drawers at the bottom. Let's see if we can see. There's the large drawer. And then the bottom drawer, I have all the containers of thread that are actually not floss thread. One of them are, and then the other is just sewing thread that my friend gave me of the hands that are the really old brands. I guess she stitched back in the 40s and the 50s. So I will fix the drawers later because that's getting on my nerves and my OCD. So there's a few other things I wanted to talk about on, I was going to do the Jessie Marie tag, or the community tag that Jessie helped create for 2016. And real quick, before I do that, I know, sorry, as I adjust the camera here. Okay, now that we're back. One of the things that I've been working on at church, and I'll just throw it out here to you, is that we are currently fundraising for a new organ that we had purchased last year. And we have I have been heading up a crowdfunding site to try to get some funds, because we are a small Episcopal church in South New Jersey here. So we don't have a lot of parishioners, but we wanted to have a new organ because the organ we had previously was from the 1940s. And it was starting to fall apart and it just wasn't working anymore. So we donated the existing organ, because it still worked, to a church in Africa, and we purchased the new organ for our ministry here in New Jersey. But we are having some issues making the payments on the organ. So I went ahead and created a Razoo account, and I will link it below. If you are interested in supporting the musical arts, or a religious group, we would love to. The church would be very appreciative to have your support in that. We are hoping to, with the new organ, create some community events that will support not only religion, but and the church's causes, but also to support and promote music within the community. So Again, I think the minimum donation is either $5 or $10. If you're able to and you're willing, we would appreciate anything you could give. I don't expect any of you to do it. I just thought I'd put it out there because it is a social media crowdfunding site. So again, I appreciate any of your help if you are willing to help. Again, I will link that our website below in the comments, or not the comments, but in the write-up for this video. So, almost last but not least, and if you've lasted this long, that's good. So I'm just going to quickly go through the questions on the 2016 year in review tag. I am not a very I'm not one to sit and analyze and reflect. I'm not a reflector. I'm more of a live in the present, look to the future. What happened in the past is in the past. So I like this tag just because it forces me to review what I've done and to think about where I have been and where I want to go. Now, I'm not a planner. I have a rotation just because I stitch on something for so long and then I get tired of it and I need to move on to something else. There's no set plan rotation. It's similar to like what Joe said, Uranus. In her last video is that she kind of makes small goals. Personal goals. So like for me, before I put Henry away to move on to crowns, I plan to finish that top row. Now, it's not an official plan. If I decide to change my mind and move on to something else, then I do that. Just like last night, whenever I got tired of sitting at the stand and stitching, so I pulled out my beautiful seesaw. So I'm not a planner by any means. I have no set goals where I want to have this done by this time, other than possibly that quotes to live by Sal, just so I can have it for a Christmas gift. But if it's not done by Christmas, I'm just going to let my boss know, hey, this is going to be your gift. You'll get it when I get it done. And she'll be appreciative of that. So here is the year in review tag. And I'm going to go through it fairly quickly because I know it can get pretty excessive, and I don't have a lot to really talk about within the tag. So first questions are the favorites and least favorites. So my favorite whip, my current favorite whip would be probably Henry, because I like the full coverage larger whips. I do love crowns though, so it would be crowns would be a close second. My least favorite whip would be, I don't really have a least favorite whip, but if I had to choose, it would probably be Beautiful Seesaw, just because I'm not a huge fan of the small projects that I've learned. My favorite finish is my old world map that I have framed in my dining room. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that would be my favorite finish, as well as my favorite FFO. My favorite new start in 2016, well, they're all new starts, so I guess it would be Henry. My favorite tool. My favorite tool would be my Omnic frames. I love my Omnic frames. I get such good tension, and they're so easy to set up and start using. My favorite technique, I'm a cross-country stitcher. I guess maybe whenever I do 2 threads, I like the loop method. We'll go with that. My favorite material would be even weave. There are some linens I prefer, but I do enjoy just stitching on even weave. And I think my favorite to do is 28 count 1/1. However, I do not like frogging 1/1 on 28 count. And pattern release of 2016, I don't know. I do like passports, but technically that would have been... Okay, and we're back. Apparently my tablet, it will only allow me to record 30 some minutes. I don't know. Anyway, so I was saying my favorite pattern release, possibly the passport, but because I believe that was actually released in 2015, so I really don't know. How many whips at the start of the year? 0, because I didn't start stitching until July. How many whips at the end of the year? At the end of the year, I had 4 whips. The same 4 whips I showed you today. So I had 4 whips. How many starts during the year? I'm going to count the patterns as 1 start. So, well, I guess I could do 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I had 16 starts this year. How many finishes I had? The 9 planets, the map, Lily. I had 13. So okay, so I must have had 17 starts, and I had 13 finishes because I have 4 left. FFOs, I have 3 FFOs. Oh, I forgot about New York. I should have figured this out beforehand. I had 18 starts, 14 finishes, 3 FFOs. I do not have any UFOs, so none are temporary or permanent. And how many full coverage pages complete? I completed 2 full coverage pages. The second page was completed on New Year's Eve. Let me get a drink of coffee here. Okay, my first start and last start. My first start was Old World Map by Janlin, the Janlin kit that I have framed. My last start of 2016 would have been my pumpkin passport, only because I wanted to get the words and those middle borders done before the new year. My first finish was my friend's cat Lily that I stitched for him, and my last finish of the year would have been the Frosted Pumpkin National Parks. Any regrets of purchases? No, I don't really regret. I mean, there's some purchase I ended up not caring for. I purchased a F.A. Edmonds frames and stand, and I just was not a fan of those, but I had to learn somewhere, and so they're not, I wouldn't call them a regret. Any starting regrets? Nope, none. Any stopping regrets? No. Any regrets of not participating? No. No. These are new and new to use. So a new tool, all of them, except for maybe a hoop. I have used the hoop in the past, prior to this year, when I used to stitch years ago. So the Omnic frames, the stands, the floor stands, needle minders, all of those are all new. Oh, by the way, those of you that have the little square measuring thing to tell you like 1, 2, and 3 inches from the edge Please let me know in the comments below where you got that. I would love to find one of those. Where am I at? Okay. New technique or stitch to me. French knots. The loop method. That's it. Oh, no. In my crowns, I had to do, in the large crown in the center, I had to do whatever this stitch is. These ones here. What is that called? I have the pattern. I can look real quick. Satin stitches. I did satin stitches last year. So, French knots, loop method, satin stitches. New designer. All of the above. Janlin, Rosewood Manor, Heaven and Earth Designs, from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, what's his name? Beautiful Seesaw, Ship's Manor, Eric at Ship's Manor, all of them. They're all new to me. Oh, ink circles. I did ink circles this year. New fabric. I've never stitched on even weave or linen prior to this year. I've never stitched on hand dyed. So this year I've used Hand Dyed by Stephanie and Picture This Plus and the one Etsy store that I can't think of right now for my Ship's Manor. New thread to me. I've never used anything but DMC prior to this year. So threads that I've used this year, Petite Treasure Braid and Gloriana Silks. I think those are the only ones other than DMC I've used. New vendor or shop. I have my local shop here in Haddonfield, New Jersey that I go to, Needle something, I can't think of it right now, as well as 123 Stitch. Everything that terminology, everything. Even though the word stashquisition or haul drive me nuts. I don't know why. Anyways, moving on. Flosstube channels, all of them. I love all of them. I'm sure I don't follow everybody, and I haven't seen everybody's because there's just so many of you. But everybody's Flosstube channels. Of course, I started with Carolyn Mazzio, who we all miss very much. But and from there, it just kind of exploded. And without all of you guys, I wouldn't have or know about any of this stuff because I had only ever stitched kits prior to this. So a mix. Okay, here's the mix of questions. What did you learn this year? I guess the main thing I learned this year is that I enjoy large whips and not small whips. I enjoy the full coverage. I enjoy taking my time, and while I enjoy finishes and I like finishes and having finishes, I like the process. So I guess I'm a mix between process and finish stitcher. I also learned about scroll frames. I had never used a scroll frame before, and I'm so glad I learned about those. I learned the loop method. I learned about Flosstube and all of the different options out there because I honestly thought that cross stitch was a dying breed, but obviously it's going strong. It's just, that little niche market that a lot of people don't know about. What did you teach someone this year? I didn't actually physically teach anybody anything about cross stitch, like the actual art of it. I mean, my friends I've taught what I'm doing and show them what I'm doing, but I've never, So yeah. Did you become real life friends with any stitchers you only knew via social media previously? No, I have not met anybody yet. Excuse me. However, I would love to. I think it would be great to sit down and stitch or go shopping with them. Are you happy with what you accomplished this year? Yes. What were your goals for 2016? How did they measure up to what you accomplished? I don't set goals. I don't have goals. So I guess I can't answer that one. Has your stitching style or organization changed during the year? If so, how? If no, are there any changes or improvements you'd like to make? Well, I mean, I did buy that cabinet, but that was 2017, so I guess that doesn't fit in for this this tag. My style, I guess, just moving more towards the larger whips, the larger projects. Did you fall victim to fear of missing out? Yes, national parks, in a way, Pumpkin Passport. And I mean, I'm going to finish Pumpkin Passport, but it's not something, I mean, it'll just be like one of those fill in between large whips so I don't get sick of the large whips. Were there any projects that you would pass on starting if you were given the chance to go back in time and do all over? Probably, as much as I like my ink circles Reflections of New York, it's not something I think I would ever want to stitch again, and I'm not really drawn towards those ink circle projects anymore. Yeah, it's just not really my thing anymore. Did you participate in any SALs? If so, which ones was your favorite? I did the national parks, and I did enjoy national parks. I like those, the different parks that they did. I think that's the only SAL I did. And as of right now, Beautiful Sea SAL. I do like that one. But I guess I like national parks only because it's finished. And it came out in sections that were complete in a way, and not like the motifs were complete. What did you learn about yourself through your stitching this year? I've already answered that. I'm a large project stitcher. And I'm a mix between finish and process. What was your favorite event that you participated in this year? I didn't really participate in any events except for those two SALs. Were there any 2016 stitching fads that you didn't jump on the bandwagon but you're still considering? No. While I love all the different fads that you guys are doing, none of them really fit my style. What project are you most looking forward to starting? I am most looking forward to starting my other Heaven and Earth design that I have, which is the landscape by John Bradley. It's the harbor with the church in the background, and yeah, but I will not be starting that until I have Henry either close to done or done. So at least not until the end of the year. Because, yeah, I don't think I'd be able to handle having two different Heaven and Earth designs going at the same time, because I would never get one finished. And I do want to have those finishes. What project are you most looking forward to finishing? All of them. I would love to get Henry finished. I would love to get the crowns finished and framed. I love yeah. Do you intend to be more determined or laid back in your stitching in the coming year? I'm going to stay the same. I'm happy with the way I stitch, what I stitch, when I stitch, how I stitch. What event are you most looking forward to participating in? I don't know. I'm not really a big event person. I'll tag along like with the SALs. And I follow Stitch Mania and the Heaven and Earth design online, but I'm not really a big event person. Were there any where am I at? What are your stitchy resolutions for next year? Just to keep stitching what I want to do when I want to do it. Yeah. Will you be participating in any SALs? I am currently participating in the Pumpkin Passport SAL that Garrett, Copy Stitcher, and I are doing. Of course, it's a year late, but that's okay. And anybody else can join along. And we actually have a tag on Instagram, a hashtag on Instagram if you guys want to post your projects there. I think it's FP Passport. I don't remember. You can find it under my my update picture on my Instagram. And of course I'm going to be doing the Stitcherovia quotes to live by, and I'm going to continue the beautiful sea Sal, and I might. I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold off and see how I like it first. The town Sal by Ship's Manor. I think it sounds neat, and I'm very interested in that because I like architecture and towns and that type of stuff, but I want to see what it looks like first. Excuse me. Are there any material stitches techniques you'd like to try in the new year? Not really. I mean, I'm happy with what I'm doing. If something comes along that catches my eye, I'll do it. Yeah. So what was the best thing that happened to you this year? And this is non-stitching. I would have to say my trip to Chicago that I took in September. I guess maybe even just finding my place in life and being content and happy with where I'm at and what I'm doing. I really think this year 2016 was a year that I settled into it and I didn't feel lost or confused. What are your resolutions for next year? I'm not a huge resolution person. I do have some personal resolutions. One of the big ones is to pay off some debt that I have because cross stitch is so expensive. So I'm going to I do have some debt I want to pay off. Hence why I'm just buying cross stitch as what I like when I want it type of deal. I don't need and then I have some personal fitness and health goals that I'm not going to go into detail, but I want to achieve this year. I think that's all. So yeah, that is the 2016 year in review tag that Jessie Marie helped create. And now the last thing, and if you made it this far, I'm glad you did, because I am going to do a giveaway. So in the last week, I have reached over 1,200 subscribers. So I am going to do a $25 gift card to 123 Stitch or the online place of your choice if you're out of the country and you'd rather buy it from somewhere in your country. Whatever is easier, because I'm going to do the gift card route because I do not have a big stash. I don't have anything I would want to give up at this time. So that way you can just go buy what you want, where you want. So I'm going to give two. I think I'm going to do two $25 gift cards. Now, I do not want you to put in the comments anything about a giveaway or this. My question for you is, what is your favorite coffee shop? Is it Dunkin' Donuts? Is it Starbucks? I'm taking a poll. So I am personally a Dunkin' Donuts person. It's a little bit cheaper. I go to both. I love my coffee. That's pretty much all I drink is coffee and water. Coffee. I actually got a Ninja coffee bar for Christmas this year. I didn't get any stitchy stuff, but I got some nice stuff. Ninja coffee bar being one of them. So yeah. Let me know where your favorite coffee shop is. If you don't go to a coffee shop or drink coffee, tell me what your favorite hot beverage is. Or what brand of coffee, tea, etc. you like. So enter in the comments that. Don't say anything about the giveaway or you will be disqualified. Of course, you have to be 18 or over. If you're under 18, I have to have your parents' permission. You know, all of that good stuff. And I will keep this open until, I'm going to give people plenty of time. Let's say March 1st. So on March 1st, of course, I will probably have videos between now and then, and I'm not going to say anything else after this. But March 1st, I will have the cutoff. And sometime after March 1st, whenever that next video is after the start of the year, after the start of the year, after March 1st, the first video after March 1st, I will announce the winners. So 2 $25 gift cards to 123 Stitch or the online company of your choice that provides online gift cards. I mean, it could be Amazon for all I care. I don't care. Wherever you want to get a $25 online gift card for stitching, whatever related, whatever you need. I want you to be a subscriber, and let me know what your favorite coffee, hot tea, hot beverage shop is or brand. Okay, well, I think this is a fairly long video, so if you stuck it out this long, congrats. I will be back whenever I'm back. I have no plans on when I'm going to do videos. It does take a lot of time, so now I have to go put all this stuff away and start stitching for the rest of the day. Because I can, because it's a holiday. So, enjoy your stitching. Enjoy your holiday if you're off in America for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Follow me on Instagram, ginger.gerald.stitcher. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.